Hi, this is Heather from Stamps Paper Love. I have a scrapbooking process video for you today as a part of the Traci Reed Designs creative team. We are doing the Felicity YouTube Hop. Felicity is Traci's brand new collection that is on sale this weekend. And here is my layout for the hop. So Felicity has an amazing assortment of patterns, and the colors are just gorgeous, and I could not decide which ones to use, so I resorted to using the pattern cards for this layout, and I just made this collage of all of the fabulous patterns that is going to be the background for a photo of my oldest daughter meeting my youngest daughter on the day she was born, and their grandmother is also in the photo. So I made the background with all the little pieces of paper, and then I was just playing with the photo, trying to decide what I was going to do. I kind of wanted to mat the photo on another pattern paper, but at the end, I just decided to put it on a piece of white cardstock just to have it kind of pop up from the background a little bit. And then I was deciding which I was going to add a couple more cards, I think at least one, maybe two, to the bottom section of the cluster. And this one has a little circle element on it that I was looking for a date stamp to put the date on there with, and all the date stamps that I have started in 2007, and this photo was from 2003, so I had to dig out some other stamps later to add that date on there. Right now I'm just going through all of the sticker elements that I print on cardstock and cut, so they're more like die cuts for me. But I just pulled out a bunch of them that I thought I might use, and I kind of landed on using these 3 hearts and then adding a few more little elements in each cluster. So I have some word elements and florals and a couple other little bits and bobs that I'm going to add on here. Incredibly easy to work with this collection. Everything coordinates so nicely, and definitely did not take me a huge amount of time to figure out how to pull this layout together. And at this point, I'm just tying up the embellishments on this. It's kind of like a gigantic photo mat. I knew that I was going to put it on a particular sheet of 12 by 12 paper for the background, but I had not printed that paper yet at this point. So I'm just going to continue to add and fuss a little bit with the clusters and get some leaves in there and some florals and so on. And I decided to put the whole photo cluster on some foam tape. Earlier you saw that part of it, so the cluster here will be raised up off of the cardstock background a little bit, and just to kind of give some added interest and whatnot. So this is pretty much done at this point. I'm going to bring in some, well, it's actually one of the pattern cards that had the strips of, it was like 6 strips of the heart on the left side, and then the little spot where you can put some journaling. So I cut that apart, and you can see where I'm going to use those. So now I have printed the background paper, and I'm adding on a title. I have kind of told myself that every time I make a layout, I need to dive into my stash and use something up that's old. So this rub-on sure fits the bill. This is from a long time ago. So I got that rub-on out, and rub-ons, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I usually love how they look, but they are not always intact, and rubbing them on, you can see here I'm going to go over it with a white pen because some of the little pieces are missing and on some other sheet of paper or whatever. So that's a pain, but I made the white gel pen or paint pen or something. I used a couple different things to get it to work. So now I stamped above the word memories, I stamped the word sweet in an embossing ink and put some white embossing powder over it and set that. I had to touch that up as well. I had a little heart stencil that's kind of similar to one of the heart pattern papers. So on the corners of the photo mat, I'm just going to add on some kind of texture paste. I don't even remember what it is that I found in my stash and just added that on. It's kind of hard to see it on the video, but on the layout, it does add a little bit of extra interest in the background. And it's subtle because they're just little white hearts, and the heat tool that I used kind of puffed them up a little bit, so they definitely are pulled away from the paper, which gives it a little bit more excitement, I guess. Here I'm just tearing off the foam tape backing and placing that down. And then I'm going through some of my stamp sets, because on those little strips of paper I am going to stamp some little sentiments that go nicely with this particular layout. I have one that says, well, on the blue one, yeah, let me just dig through these stamps for a million years. On the blue one, I have a phrase that says, "The future is bright." And then I'm going to put "I love this story" on the green one, and "This is my happy" on the peachy colored one. And at that point, I feel like I don't do a whole lot more with it. So we'll see. I don't know. I think we're pretty close to the end at this point. I'm not keeping up with my video. So yes, this is part of a YouTube hop. So in the comments or in the description, there is a list of other participants that also created something with Felicity. And I'm sure that they are going to be excellent, excellent layouts. This is a free product that I got called Pops of Color. Supposed to be kind of like a enamel dot stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I figured I'd use it. I got it for free. And I kind of messed up this area here, so I'm going to wipe it off. It comes off. I wasn't sure if it would come off nicely or not, but it did. So I wiped it off and just tried it again. And then I used this little pokey tool to kind of round them out a little bit. They have kind of a pop. Oh, I guess I'm going to run out of time here. But they have a kind of point at the top, which I'm not super crazy about. But it is what it is, and it was fun to use a new product. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the other videos, and I will see you next time.